He became famous online, then lost everything. Ethan Parker was just an ordinary young man living in a small apartment on the edge of the city. At 22 years old, he had big dreams but no clear path to achieve them. Every day looked the same. Wake up, go to work, come home tired, sleep, repeat. Whenever he opened social media, he saw influencers traveling the world, driving luxury cars, and living lives that seemed perfect. Millions of people watched them. Millions admired them. And Ethan wanted that life. He wanted people to know his name. He wanted success. Most importantly, he wanted to prove to himself that he was capable of becoming someone extraordinary. One evening, after another exhausting day at work, Ethan made a decision that would change his life forever. He started creating content online. At first, nobody cared. His videos barely received 10 views. Sometimes, only 3. Many of those views were probably his own. But Ethan refused to quit. Every day after work, he spent hours filming, editing, and posting content. His family didn't understand. His father often asked, "Why waste so much time making videos for strangers?" His friends laughed at him. "You think you're going to be famous?" But Ethan ignored them. He believed success was just one viral video away. Months passed, then a year. Still nothing. Most people would have quit. Ethan didn't. He kept uploading again and again and again. Then one ordinary Tuesday morning, everything changed. He woke up to hundreds of notifications. At first, he thought it was a mistake. Then he checked his latest video. The view count was exploding. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million. The algorithm had finally noticed him. His video was everywhere. People were sharing it, commenting, following him, talking about him. Within a week, Ethan gained over 2 million followers. Overnight, he transformed from an unknown creator into an internet celebrity. The world suddenly cared who Ethan Parker was. For the first time in his life, he felt important. His phone never stopped ringing. Brands wanted partnerships. Companies offered sponsorships. Interview requests arrived daily. Money started pouring into his bank account. More money than he had ever imagined. He quit his job immediately. Soon, he moved into a luxury apartment overlooking the city skyline. He bought expensive clothes, designer watches, a sports car. Every photo he posted received hundreds of thousands of likes. People admired him. People envied him. People wanted to be him. And Ethan loved every second of it, at least in the beginning. As months passed, something started changing inside him. His happiness became connected to numbers, likes, views, followers, comments. Each morning, he checked analytics before even leaving bed. If a video performed well, he felt amazing. If a video performed poorly, his entire day was ruined. Without realizing it, social media had become his master. His self-worth was no longer determined by who he was. It was determined by a screen. Meanwhile, his relationships began falling apart. His mother called less frequently, not because she stopped caring, because Ethan stopped answering. His best friend Ryan invited him to dinner several times. Ethan always declined. Too busy, too important, too focused on creating content. When they finally met after months apart, Ryan noticed something different. The Ethan he knew was gone. Every conversation revolved around followers, views, brand deals, engagement rates. Ryan tried to warn him. "You're changing, Ethan." Ethan laughed. "No, I'm growing." But deep down, he knew Ryan was right. Still, he ignored the warning. The fame was addictive. The attention felt too good. Soon, Ethan stopped sharing his real life online. Instead, he created a perfect version of himself, a version designed to impress strangers. He rented luxury cars he couldn't afford, pretended expensive vacations were sponsored, staged photos, exaggerated stories. Everything became performance. Everything became content. The real Ethan slowly disappeared behind the character he created, yet nobody noticed, or so he thought. 1 year later, the internet moved on. As quickly as fame arrived, it began fading. New creators appeared, new trends emerged, new personalities captured attention. Ethan's views started dropping, then dropping again, then dropping even further. At first, he wasn't worried. He assumed it was temporary, but weeks turned into months. The numbers continued falling. His sponsors became less interested. Brand deals disappeared. Companies stopped calling. Followers stopped engaging. Some even unfollowed. For the first time since becoming famous, Ethan felt fear, real fear. He worked harder than ever, posting more content, following every trend, trying every strategy. Nothing worked. The harder he chased attention, the faster it slipped away. Soon, financial problems appeared. The expensive lifestyle he built required constant income. Luxury apartments weren't cheap, sports cars weren't cheap, designer lifestyles weren't cheap, and the money wasn't coming anymore. One by one, Ethan began selling things. First the watches, then the car. Eventually, even the apartment. The internet never saw any of it. Online, he still pretended everything was perfect, but offline, his world was collapsing. Then came the worst part, the comments. People who once praised him now mocked him. Some called him irrelevant, others called him a failure. A few created videos celebrating his decline. The same audience that had lifted him up was now tearing him down. Every negative comment felt like a knife. Ethan spent hours reading criticism, hours comparing himself to successful creators, hours wondering where everything went wrong. His mental health deteriorated rapidly. He struggled to sleep. He stopped exercising. He rarely left home. Anxiety became a constant companion. Depression followed shortly after. One evening, sitting alone in a small apartment, Ethan stared at his phone. A new video had performed terribly. Again, thousands of views instead of millions. The screen reflected in his tired eyes, and for the first time, he asked himself a question he had avoided for years. Who am I without social media? The silence that followed was terrifying, because he didn't know the answer. His identity had become completely attached to fame. Without followers, who was he? Without likes, what was he worth? Without attention, did he matter? That realization broke him. For years, he had chased validation from strangers, and now those strangers had moved on, leaving him empty, alone, lost. The next morning, Ethan did something unusual. He turned off his phone, then he left it at home. For the first time in years, he went outside without documenting every moment. No photos, no videos, no posts, just life. As he walked through the city, he noticed things he hadn't paid attention to in years. Children playing, people laughing together, families sharing meals, friends talking face to face. Nobody cared about followers. Nobody cared about views. Most people were simply living, and many seemed happier than he was. That realization stayed with him. Over the following weeks, Ethan slowly reconnected with reality. He called his mother. She answered immediately. Not with anger, not with disappointment, just love. The kind of love that doesn't depend on popularity. He met Ryan again, expecting criticism. Instead, Ryan welcomed him back like nothing had happened. The friendship was still there, waiting, real. Unlike the temporary approval of strangers online, Ethan started rebuilding his life, not his online life, his actual life. He exercised regularly, read books, spent time with family, learned new skills, volunteered at local community events. For the first time in years, he focused on becoming a better person rather than a more popular one. Months later, Ethan returned to social media, but this time, everything was different. He stopped pretending, stopped chasing trends, stopped obsessing over numbers. Instead, he shared honest experiences, his failures, his lessons, his mistakes. Many people ignored the content, some followers left, but something surprising happened. The people who stayed genuinely connected with him. For the first time, he wasn't performing. He was being himself. And that felt far better than any viral video. Years later, Ethan looked back at his journey with gratitude. Not because he became famous, but because he lost it. Losing fame taught him something success never could. Attention is temporary. Popularity is temporary. Internet fame is temporary, but character lasts. Relationships last. Self-respect lasts. The things he once ignored had become the most valuable parts of his life. One evening, while speaking at a small event for young creators, someone asked him a question. If you could go back in time, would you still want to become famous? Ethan smiled thoughtfully. Then he answered, I would still chase my dreams, but I would never build my identity around other people's attention. Fame should be a tool, not a foundation. The room fell silent, because everyone knew there was truth in those words. Ethan had learned the lesson the hard way. He had gained millions of followers, lost millions of followers, made a fortune, lost a fortune, experienced admiration, experienced rejection, and after everything, he discovered what truly mattered. Not likes, not views, not popularity, but living a life that remained meaningful even when nobody was watching. Because in the end, the most important audience isn't the internet. It's the person staring back at you in the mirror. And if that person respects who you've become, you've already won. Moral of the story: don't build your life around attention from strangers. Build a life that makes you happy, even when nobody is watching. If Ethan's journey meant something to you, take one small step today toward becoming the person you truly want to be. And if stories like this inspire you to grow, don't forget to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more meaningful stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next journey. Because sometimes, one story can change the way you see your own life. See you in the next story.